Hello and welcome to another update video about Litecoin. I think on the Litecoin chart, there isn't really any change since the last update. Nevertheless, we want to talk about the next key levels here because obviously the halving is around the corner. I don't personally make any statements about the halving. A few people asked me. I just don't, because halvings are, first of all, they don't have anything to do with the Elliott waves. I think halvings are, potentially a fundamental factor which have an effect on sentiment. That's all, right? They have an effect on sentiment. Yes, they change to a degree, obviously, supply, but again, without demand, there is no price change. So it is only to the degree that sentiment is affecting people's buying decisions that the halving will have an effect. Therefore, in my opinion, it's impossible to say what the actual halving will have for an effect. We want to focus only on the setups that we have on the chart. We want to focus on our method, which is using Elliott waves together with Fibonacci levels and a few other indicators. What you also need to understand is that many people who try to predict price movements with halvings, they use data points that we don't have enough data points to be statistically relevant. That's the case for Litecoin. It's the same case for Bitcoin. It's flawed. Okay, we just don't have enough data points to come up with a strategy based on that. I mean, if you have 2, 3, 4 halvings, whatever, it's not enough to give you enough data points. Okay, and when you have enough, then probably everybody knows about it anyway, and then it's not relevant anymore. So we go with what we know works, which is the Elliott waves, which gives us a very clear level and range where we basically know when our our opinion has to shift, because we know in which Fibonacci ratios or ranges sentiment is typically shifting. If it doesn't happen, then we know it's probably not going to work out. So we have always that level where we have a very good understanding when we have to change our opinion. Okay, very, very important. That's very objective. So that's the objective element with regards to Elliott wave. Also, the idea to predict price movements based on maybe a fundamental factor or something like this, it's the same reason why Plan B's prediction of, I think, over 100, was it over 100,000? I can't remember, end of 2021, to a certain time failed. Okay, because he used something to claim that something is going to work out to a certain date or whatever time frame, with just very little data to be relevant. Okay, so it just didn't have all the data he needed. It was not statistically relevant. It was very predictive, and a lot of people hated him since then. Are hating him now. That's always the problem. So all we can do is to focus on our setups, do risk management, and go back to basics. So yeah, I know there's always a lot of halving talk, and I know a lot of people get a lot of views about it, but I have to be responsible here, and I am responsible to a degree, and I always only give you the relevant levels and give you my best idea of the trend. And yeah, it's, don't put too many variables, random variables, into your analysis. So I'm now on the Binance chart. I haven't fully converted the Litecoin chart over to Binance. I had it on Bitfinex before. I need to do that, but I just show you the current setup here. Make or break point for this setup is here. By the way, if you're asking, Bitfinex obviously lower volume, had a few glitches here, so I want to go to Binance or Coinbase. They're both okay. So this is sort of the make or break point here around 8180, well known from previous videos. This is where this wave 1 started, in my opinion. It is a wave 1 of a larger degree, wave 5. Again, I haven't got it all on the chart here because I haven't moved over the entire chart over to Binance. I will do that, but the point here is to highlight, okay, what is the setup? Currently, this is the support range, going all the way down to 8560 pretty much. If it goes below 8560, obviously the risk increases that we will go below the make or break point at 8180. However, this is the area where ideally the trend is turning around from a local downtrend into an uptrend. We expected price to get into this region. It did get into this region. Now we wait for it to turn around. If it doesn't turn around here, it's likely going to fail, and we deal with a much more bearish outcome. Not necessarily putting the chart into bear mode, but into a scenario in which the price can pull back much, much lower. So again, I can only apologize, I haven't got the entire wave count on this chart, but what I want to show you is, let's just label it quickly. Where are we? Yeah. So what is important to understand in the case that 8180 breaks to the downside, I would see this here again as a wave 1, a wave 2, a wave 3, the wave 4 triangle we talked about. Let me think, yeah, here. And then the wave 5 ended here. This would be the alternative wave count, okay? And then we can say that all of this was a larger wave 1, and we would probably then get a larger ABC correction to the downside. And we would talk about probably the range roughly between $56 and $77. So, but then probably it would be a very, very long correction time-wise, okay? So it would take plenty of time to get somewhere in this region. So this would be the second, bullish scenario. Whereas in the primary scenario, as long as that 8180 level is holding, I would estimate that this wave 5 could be a little longer. And I see this here only as the wave 1 of the wave 5. We're now in the wave 2 of the wave 5, and we can give it a chance, as long as support is holding, to rally higher in a third wave of wave 5, fourth, and the fifth. Doesn't need it because it already has 5 waves up, but it is certainly something that at the moment can play out as long as that support level is holding. Again, 8180 is the make or break point. Ideally, I don't want to see price break to the downside of this yellow box, okay, which is again here 85.56. Now at the moment on the shorter time frame, I still see this here, yes, as a wave 2 correction, but as a WXY, and in the Y wave we have an A wave, a B wave as a flat, and then the C wave down could unfold now. I haven't got any evidence that a low is in place already. The last rally was only in 3 waves, so it would be good for the chart, in my opinion, to come down a little lower. So what I want to highlight here, even though I'm tracking a bullish setup, I can also not confirm to you here that a low has been established. So short term, I expect still further downside. Yeah, that's my update about Litecoin. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.